It doesn't matter what stage of business you are in, whether you are just starting or you've been in business for 5 years now, market research is something that you should be doing and you should be continually doing it. And I think a lot of times when we think about market research, we think, oh, I just do market research this one time and I get all the information and then I'm like good to go for the rest of forever. And that is so far from the truth. Your audience is always evolving, you are always evolving, buyer behavior is evolving. We're all evolving, right? And that means that you need to be continually doing market research to understand your audience and their needs. And especially if you really want to create magnetic messaging on your sales page copy anytime you're selling, or even just through your content on Instagram. All that to be said, market research is very, very, very important. And I want to break down today one extremely, extremely easy way where literally you just set this up once, you don't ever touch it, and it's just collecting market research data for you. That's how easy this really is. You're going to be able to set this up and it's going to be able to give you information about your Instagram followers, specifically how what type of content you should be creating based off of what they're following you for initially. So, how did they find you? What do they want to hear more about from you? You're going to set this up inside of ManyChat. And the way that you're going to set this up inside of ManyChat is when someone follows you, there is a trigger. And let me actually pull up my ManyChat here. It's called new follower to DM set up. So when someone follows you for the very first time, you're going to be able to send them a direct message. Now, you might already have this set up, but you might not be utilizing it in a way that's actually collecting information for you. And that's what I've seen for the majority of people who have this already set up. And if you don't already have this set up, you're going to do it today and it's going to start working for you and collecting data for you literally today, which I'm really excited about. Now, if you already have this set up and it's not collecting data for you, then you need to tweak how this is set up. What I've seen for a lot of people, because I follow people too, and I'm seeing, their messages being sent to me the first time that I follow them. And basically, what it says is, hi, I'm so and so. I saw that you just followed me. Like, welcome to my Instagram account. And maybe there's like a link to like their Amazon storefront or a link to their signature course or something like that. Now, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's not really collecting any information, right? That's not telling you why someone started following you. It's not telling you what content you should be creating more of. This is what my first message says to people when they first following me. It says, oh, actually, this isn't my first message. Let me find let me go back to this message over here. Um, this is the first message it says. It says, hi, I just saw that you followed me. Thank you. I'm so grateful that you're here. Welcome to the Instagram family. What to expect around here? I'm all about building. Wow, I'm all about helping you scale sustainably, building a business that stacks income while stacking memories. Think 5K, 25K, and even 50K months on 15 to 20-hour work weeks. And because Instagram growth alone doesn't pay the bills, I'll show you how to create content that actually converts. So you're not just growing your following, you're growing your business. Since you just joined me, I'd love to know, what are you specifically needing help with so I can send you a 100% free resource to support you. And then from there, if they click on yes, which people do, then the next message that I send them, it says, yay, what is your current focus / what do you need the most help with? This will help me know which freebie to send you that will be the most helpful. It says A, Instagram growth, B, scaling my income or business, C, selling on stories, and D, setting up a funnel to generate passive income. Now, these 4 options are not random options that I just like pulled out and I was like, oh yeah, let's give these people 4 options and here are these 4 options. All of these are tied back to an offer, right? So Instagram growth, that ties into IG University, scaling your income, that ties into scalability, selling on stories, that ties into plug and get paid, and then setting up a funnel to generate passive income, that ties into Stack Inbox, which are all the core offers that I sell. Well, I shouldn't say all core offers. My core offer is scalability, but those are other offers that I sell as well. Now, something super interesting is that I can see the statistics, right? I can see what the click through rate is on each of these different options. So option A has a 25%, option D has a 22%. And so I can see how many people are coming to my Instagram account and what they're coming for. So majority of people are coming to my Instagram account to either grow on Instagram, which makes sense. That's one of the core things that I teach. And then D, set up a funnel to generate passive income. Those are my two biggest numbers. Now, I can take this one step further though, because if they click on A, let's just say, for example, it's going to take them down a different path. So if they click on Instagram growth as what they're needing more help with, I ask them another question. I say, okay, well, you're in the right place for learning how to grow. One last question before I send over your freebie. What do you struggle with the most when it comes to Instagram growth? I say A, turning viewers into followers. B, getting views altogether. My content simply flops. C, ideation, how to come up with content. And D, filming and editing. Content creation takes forever. Now, this is giving me even more information, right, about my new follower and what content that they would like seeing more of when I post on Instagram, right? Majority of people said, well, not majority. It was 31% of people said turning viewers into followers, and 29% of people said my views altogether, my content simply flops, right? And so this is giving me such good information. And then from there, just based off of their answer, I send them over some free resources. Some of those free resources are freebies that like opt-in forms that get them onto my email list. And then some of them are past pieces of content that I have posted that maybe give a few different tips or even podcast episodes, or I've even linked other emails that I've sent as well, just like newsletters that I've sent to my email or email list in the past, because inside of Flowdesk, you can like copy the link once it doesn't even have to be once the newsletter has been sent, but you can copy that and people can view that newsletter. And so that's what I will then send them just based off of their answer. But again, this is such great market research. I can now understand that majority of people who are following me either for learning how to generate passive income or for Instagram growth. And for people who are following me for passive income, I asked them the question, what did I ask them? My next question after that, I don't think I asked them a question after that. If they said that they needed help setting up a funnel to generate passive income, I just sent them to 3 different podcast episodes of mine that all talk about funnels, which is great, right? So now automatically, not only is this new follower coming in and I'm getting information about what they want more content on in the future, I'm also telling them, hey, I have a podcast, and they're going to go and watch my podcast, right? Which is so helpful because my podcast is tied into my funnels, which are going to get them into my offers, right? And then same thing with Instagram growth. When they tell me like, oh, they need help with turning viewers into followers. Okay, well, I'm going to send them over to a podcast episode. Again, now they know I have a podcast. If I have a freebie, I'm going to get them onto my email list. If I have other resources, right, I'm linking them to all these other resources where now they're like, okay, she doesn't just have an Instagram account. I can also get onto her email list. I can also see her podcast episodes. Wow, she has a lot of podcast episodes. These are super helpful. I wonder what her offers are, right? And then after each one of these messages too, I have a time delay of 2 hours. So after the freebies are sent to them, there's a time delay of 2 hours. And then it says, I hope that those free resources were helpful. I wanted to send over one more Instagram resource, or if, they answer the question about wanting more information about like, let's just say passive income, then I'm going to say like, I wanted to send over one more resource about passive income. But this one specifically about Instagram says, I wanted to send over one more Instagram growth resource before I pop out of your direct messages for the day. And believe me when I say I saved the best for last. If you want to make sure that your Instagram account actually grows in 2026, you need to be inside of IG University. And then I basically just give them a list of what is inside of IG University, focusing on the payoff, meaning like, what do they ultimately desire, right? They don't just desire to grow on Instagram and or I should say, they don't just desire to join into an offer because it has 12 modules and chat support and community. Like, that's not at all what I'm listing. I'm listing the specific payoff of what they desire, right? So taking it back to, if they're following me and they need help with Instagram growth, what are they specifically thinking about, right? They're thinking about that they want to create reels that don't just help grow their Instagram following, but actually help make more sales with their digital products, right? So those are the things that I'm listing there. And then I link them to obviously IG University. And so just from that flow, I'm telling them about my podcast. I'm getting them onto my email list. I am also telling them about my offers. And so I'm getting them into my offers. And I'm also doing market research through all of that. So there's like so many amazing things that are happening through this flow here. And so I just wanted to share this with you. If you are not utilizing your direct message automation in this way, meaning if you have a direct message automation set up where once someone follows you, they get a message, if you're not using that for market research, then you are missing out on a huge opportunity. Every single week I will go in here, and these numbers don't change like greatly. Like it's not going to like be a huge swing. Maybe if I had a post that went viral on a very specific topic, like let's just say maybe I had a post that went viral on the topic of passive income, then maybe it would like skew the not skew the numbers, but like maybe the numbers would change greatly. But I just am checking in on this weekly, again, because it's going to help me to understand like, okay, the content that's bringing people into my world, what topics do I want to be talking about? And just beyond just like Instagram growth, right? Like, yeah, it's good to know that people are coming in and they're mainly finding me for Instagram growth, but I want to know even further, like, what are they specifically wanting help with when it comes to Instagram growth? Okay, well, they're wanting to turn viewers into followers. Well, what kind of content now can I create on Instagram? Well, I'm going to probably create content around turning viewers into followers, right? And so it's really helping me to, it's basically informing me on what my audience specifically wants content around, especially those new people who are coming into my world. So extremely valuable. You've set this up once, and I haven't even touched mine since I set it up. And it's just continually triggering when people are following me, and I'm just getting that data every single day. And if you're not using ManyChat already, you can use the link down in the show notes to get 50% off of your first 2 months. I use ManyChat for this. I highly recommend ManyChat. And really, truly, this is the easiest market research that you will ever do. Set this up once and you will thank me later on. I promise.